Chairman Barrett, Ranking Member Budzinski, and members of the subcommittee, thank you for inviting us to testify today on the EHRM program. This is VA's fourth attempt at replacing its legacy electronic health record system. As requested, I'll briefly summarize our recent work on VA's progress to implement the system and the challenges it faces moving forward. As you know, VA provides healthcare services to roughly 9 million veterans and their families, and relies on the legacy system called VISTA to do so. In June 2017, the department initiated the EHRM program to replace VISTA and deployed the new system to 6 of its medical centers at a cost of about $12.7 billion. The rollout of the system has been met with poor user satisfaction, change management issues, and slow resolution of trouble tickets, among other things. Given the magnitude of user concerns, VA paused deployments in April 2023 to improve the system and address those concerns. And on December 20th, 2024, VA announced it would resume deployments to 4 Michigan sites in mid-2026. And this afternoon, I'll highlight 4 key points from our work. First, VA lacks a strategic roadmap to get EHRM where it needs to go. During the 20-month deployment pause, a significant part of VA's improvement efforts focused on the more than 1,500 system configuration changes needed to support user needs and standardized workflows. VA also closed many of its highest priority patient safety enhancement requests. These are all important accomplishments, but there are still about 1,800 complex configuration changes and a number of user-driven projects that need to be completed. For example, referral management lacks functionality and intuitiveness for users, and VA will be working to simplify the existing process and standardize referrals across the enterprise. And all this is to say that VA has been in reactive mode during this reset period, putting out fires with no real plan for how to move forward strategically. 2 pieces of information needed to inform such a plan are the cost and schedule estimates. And this leads to my second point, that unfortunately, Congress and VA senior leaders are relying on estimates that are severely outdated and incomplete. Existing cost estimates range from VA's $16.1 billion to an independent one of almost $50 billion. And while the latter is more realistic, neither reflects the many changes and delays to the program. Also, planned system deployment at 4 additional sites results in about 94% of VA's total medical centers without the new system as of mid-2026, with 2 years left on the Oracle Cerner contract. It is vitally important that VA update these estimates to inform decision-making. Another key piece of information needed to inform a strategic roadmap is the results of an independent operational assessment, or an IV&V test, which we recommended VA conduct in 2023. An IV&V is an evaluation of the system end-to-end to determine whether the system is operationally suitable. So in other words, it systematically catalogs these deficiencies of the system and answers the question of whether or not the system will realistically meet mission need. This test is considered an IT best practice and one of the reasons why DoD was able to successfully deploy the Oracle Cerner system. And now to my final point, VA's user surveys continue to reflect general dissatisfaction with the new system. As of September 2024, about 70% of respondents were not satisfied with the system. About half continued to disagree or strongly disagree that the system enabled them to deliver high-quality care. 75% disagreed or strongly disagreed that the system made them as efficient as possible. And while there was a slight uptick in satisfaction compared to 2022, these numbers are still just too low. Moving forward, it will be critical for VA to address these issues along with our other open 8 recommendations as soon as possible. Doing so will position VA to more effectively deliver a modern health record system our veterans deserve. And that concludes my statement. I look forward to addressing your questions.